Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome to my channel. We are going to be live with England versus Italy at Wembley Stadium. Yes, sir. Man, this has been a great weekend of football. Watched the Argentina and Brazil game yesterday, and what a spectacular game. I'm so happy Lionel Messi finally got that monkey off his back and got his trophy with Argentina. I'm happy for all the Argentinian fans. Today, we have the Italians and the English, and I'm expecting this to be another fantastic clash of heavyweights. So before we get started with the game, let's go into the lineups first. The Italian lineup, we have, looks like they're going with a 4-3-3. Yeah, looks like they're going with the 4-3-3. And we have Donnarumma at the back in goal. I'm sorry. We have Cellini, the the vet of all vets. We have Bonucci, Emerson, and Di Lorenzo. So very strong back line. We have Jorginho, Verratti, Barella in the midfield. Very strong midfield. And we also have up front Immobile, Insigne, and Chiesa. So a very, very strong lineup for the Italians. Very strong lineup. And now let's go to the English lineup. Looks like they're going with a 3-4-2-1. It's been pretty much the lineup that they've been going with throughout the tournament. Pickford in goal, Stones, Maguire, Walker, and that's at the back. In the midfield, we have Rice, Phillips, Luke Shaw, probably playing left wing back, and Trippier is coming in at the right wing back position. Up front, we have, of course, Harry Kane, Sterling, and Mason Mount comes into the game. So Mount is starting today. That's very interesting. They went with a little bit of a different lineup in the last game. I think they started with Sancho. So very, very interesting. And, it's pretty interesting to me that Sancho can make the starting lineup. Also, Jack Grealish, surprising that Jack Grealish is not in the starting lineup. So, but those are the two lineups, folks. And, yeah, I'm expecting for a very exciting game, Head-to-head in the last couple of games that they've played, which have mostly been friendlies. I think they met in the European, the same UEFA Euro Championships in 2012, and that was a draw. In the World Cup, back in 2014, Italy beat them 2-1. I remember that game specifically. And then the three friendlies they've had, England won once, and the other two have been draws. So I'm kind of expecting the same thing. I'm expecting a very hard-fought game. I'm expecting probably going to be a little bit of a chess match early, although I expect England's at home. So, when you're at home, you should come out of the gates quick. They should have a fast start to this game. So, but either way, I'm just looking for an exciting game. Hopefully we get one of those classics. And yeah, so kickoff is right around the corner. So sit back, relax, and you can comment who you guys are rooting for, who you think is going to win, what you think the score is going to be, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm just expecting a good game. I'm expecting a hard-fought game. I'm expecting, like I said, two teams that's going to go for it. Hopefully both teams go for it. And like I said, I'm hoping that we get a very, very exciting game. It's been a great tournament so far. I've loved both tournaments. The Copa was an outstanding tournament. And the Euros, I think, this is, so like I said, this has been a great tournament also. So yeah, I'm just expecting another great one, and hopefully the game lives up to all the hype. So, but like I said before, everybody who's watching, thank you for tuning in. Let me know who you think is going to win. You can put that in the chat. Also, let me know what you think the score is going to be, and yeah, all that good stuff. So you can leave a comment, like, subscribe. Please also like, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to do some of the Gold Cup games also. Um, so the Gold Cup is actually the tournament that's here in America. So I'm going to try to get to some of those games coming up this week and the weekend. I think the U.S. plays later on tonight. Might try to get that one in live also. Not quite sure if I will be, but yeah. So I'm gonna try to do some Gold Cup games also. All right. So yeah, let's buckle back, sit back, relax, and hopefully, like I said, we get a good one here. So um, yeah, let's see what's going on.
Wembley Stadium, 7 minutes now. We'll kick. There's some fireworks going off. How long until we see that on the pitch? Or will both sides be extremely cautious? That the spoils of victory. Winner taking home the championship trophy for Euro 2024.
All right, the Euro. Why can't I get this? The Euro trophy is out on the field. So yeah, let's see what's going. Hopefully we got a good game here, man. What's up, Del Piero? Great striker for Italy. Classic guy, great striker. Great striker. Anybody who knows Alessandro Del Piero, he was a great striker. Steve McManaman played also with England, so we have an Englishman and we have an Italian on ESPN. So that's pretty interesting. I'm sure there was a lot of trash talking behind the scenes. So 65,000 at Wembley Stadium. Wow. This should be a good one. And the players are getting ready to come onto the field. Okay, see a good amount, nice little bit of Italian fans there. And here comes the English. This is it. Can England finally, as they like to say, bring a trophy home? Can they do it? They have everything in front of them. They're on home soil. They're playing in front of the home fans. They're at Wembley. They're playing one of their biggest rivals in Italy, a rivalry that goes back like 80-something years. So everything's in their favor. We're going to go now to the national anthems. Looks like the national anthem of Italy is up first. Respect. And I hear booing in the crowd. That's disrespectful, man.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of England.
Now the national anthem of England. All right, both teams have gone through the national anthem. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff, folks.
Italy have used 25, but they have 26 players in this tournament that are unchanged here. Veteran centre-backs Leonardo Bonucci and Giorgio Chiellini, survivors from the 2012 final. Federico Chiesa has already scored twice at Wembley in the tournament, Taylor.
In possession, this will look more like three in the back with Di Lorenzo staying at home, while Emerson will take more advanced positions. All this is to help Verratti and Barella impact the game more than they did versus Spain through the middle of the park.
Harry Kane and Giorgio Chiellini and referee Bjorn Kuipers, who apart from being a top official around Europe, has managed to become a multi-millionaire running supermarkets, or owning them anyway, in the meantime. Gareth Southgate has raised some eyebrows by recalling Kieran Trippier in place of Bukayo Saka and changing his tactical setup. Harry Kane needs 2 goals to take the golden boot. Phil Foden is unfit.
7 players with a defensive mindset. Surprised a little bit that Gareth Southgate leaves Rice and Phil to deal with the 3. I think there's a little flexibility with this tactically. Mount at times can come inside and help bottle up Jorginho in possession.
Gareth Southgate trying to exorcise the demons of 25 years ago when he missed the penalty that cost England a place in the Euro final. They're in this one under his guidance. Italy and England have met 4 times in major tournaments. Italy have come out on top every time so far, most recently in the sweltering desert city of Manaus in the Amazon jungle back in 2014, and both teams went out of the tournament despite that result. Stakes much higher now.
All right, we're about to kick off, folks.
Italy unbeaten in a national record 33 matches, 27 of which they've won. They've had a harder route to the final. They've had to take on Belgium and Spain. And both sets of players will take the knee to make the statement against all forms of racism and discrimination. And I have to say, it was good to see and report that the England fans this time did not boo the Italian anthem as Gareth Southgate had pleaded.
Oh, I heard boos.
And now here it is, the Euro 2020 final, a year late. England in all white tonight when they won the World Cup back in 1966, their only other major tournament final. They famously wore red. Italy in their past have been tournament masters, of course. This is their 10th big tournament final. Here's Harry Maguire for England. Thumping header. And there's a nervy touch. Pickford didn't give him an angle, and England give away, well, needlessly, a corner.
And the most difficult thing, I think, for Gareth Southgate in England today is that at times...
Wow, Harry Maguire, that was shocking.
Just setting up his defensive shape and forcing teams into uncomfortable positions. And Harry Maguire, right off the bat, with a nervy touch in the back.
Lorenzo Insigne lines up the corner.
That was a nervous touch by Harry Maguire. My goodness, what was that?
To Italy. And it was Maguire who got it away. England have only conceded once in the whole tournament. That was in the semi-final against Denmark. A great free kick by Mikael Damsgaard. Here's Kane's first involvement. Trippier. That towards the back post and scores for England! An early strike! Luke Shaw! Wow! What a start for England and Wembley! It's his first ever England.
Wow. Luke Shaw, of all people, scored? My goodness.
He's been simply fantastic throughout this entire tournament, creating chances
Wow.
going forward. But it's all about Harry Kane and where he operates and in that pocket that then gets England out of pressure. But I love this from Trippier to allow the overlapping run from Kyle Walker. No pressure on the ball whatsoever.
Wow.
Take over the top. And how about this? In a huge moment, 2 minutes in. How's your first touch, Luke Shaw? England with a dream start here at Wembley.
Right
Wow.
off the post. Gareth Southgate, the calmest man, and that is often the case in Wembley. Everybody else going absolutely crazy, and Italy's usually very watertight defence just seemed to be asleep there. It's the fastest goal ever in a European Championship final. Chiellini with the header. Well, a lot of people were wondering if this might be a stalemate type tense, nothing in it, going all the way to extra time, maybe penalties, maybe no goals. We've already had one. Barella. Now tries to get inside, and Jorginho makes sure his Chelsea teammate that he wasn't going anywhere.
England just got to be extremely careful when they turn over possession and win that ball in their defensive third. Italy's been the best team in pressuring in their attacking third. So immediately Jorginho, Barella, Verratti, all coming through the middle, putting pressure on Mason Mount. England's got to be very mindful of how quickly Italy want to get back into this game.
If Italy are going to win this European Championship, they'll certainly have to do it the hard way, playing at their opponent's home and from a goal behind in 3 minutes. From Luke Shaw, who hardly ever scores in his career.
Yeah, that's surprising. Of all people to score, Luke Shaw. Wow, shocking.
A player who was dismissed as lazy and overweight and with not much of a football brain by a couple of his Manchester United managers in the past. So that's a comeback tale that's being told here. The good thing from Italy's point of view is they've got a long time to do something about it. See that midfield battle already, haven't we? Mount and Jorginho playing the same Chelsea shirt, bitter opponents on this occasion. Insigne to lay the ball inside. He's been lively all the way through the tournament. A couple of great goals as well. Insigne. This is Barella. Now Chiesa, who loves Wembley. A couple of goals in this stadium, in this tournament from him. Good ones too. Trippier on the header. Now tries to have it on. The place is frantic. Chiesa to pick it up. Looks for the free kick around the edge. Shaw pleads innocent when the referee, Bjorn Kuipers, has given it.
Well, the game was going to be frantic anyways, but now you throw an early goal on top of it. And it's back and forth. A lot of 50-50 balls, and now you've got to react. Luke Shaw in a bad spot. Fouls Chiesa, but this is unknown territory for Italy. Everyone talked about the 33-game unbeaten streak. The last 18 games they've played, they've never been behind. So this is unknown territory for the Italian side under Roberto Mancini.
Yeah, 10 months that run since they've been behind in a game. That was against Bosnia and Herzegovina when Edin Dzeko scored.
Emerson.
10 minutes. They've got a chance to fight.
Emerson's got a free kick outside the box. Danger time. Insigne and Emerson.
Insigne's right. And it's not coming out quick enough to trouble Jordan Pickford.
You can see Phillips laying on his back underneath the wall, but the wall doing a good job of just making it very difficult for Insigne to get it up and over it.
Well, that wasn't in the script for Roberto Mancini, who's had bittersweet experiences at Wembley in the past. A great one the other night, winning the penalty shootout in that classic against Spain. Won and lost their FA Cup finals here. He's the Manchester City manager, a decade or so back. Di Lorenzo into the channel for Chiesa. Some extraordinary din going on around the stadium. You can hardly hear yourself think, Taylor, here. Nearly mass hysteria, I think you could describe it as.
It's throughout all of England, though. You've got this confluence of joy of coming out of the pandemic for 18 struggled months. And then all of a sudden, England's in the European Cup final for the first time in history. Everyone's losing their mind.
And they head to, and with a sloppy play really there from Italy in the middle of the pitch, gives away the free kick. It's Kyle Walker, whose speed has been essential in keeping England from conceding more than one goal. Towards Phillips, but Bonucci was there to win the header. Here's Kane, who dropped deep to great effect in the last game. Lovely one again. Trippier across the face of goal. Sterling was waiting and hoping in predatory fashion, as he's done to some effect in this tournament already.
There were concerns about tactically what this would look like for England. Would it be too defensive? And so much of it is about where the positions are of Shaw and Trippier. And Trippier is doing a wonderful job of timing those runs forward. And it's allowed Kyle Walker at times to overlap and to create those overloads.
Seeing it away inside now. Verratti. Insigne's angle ball then, but Captain over there for that one. Chilo Immobile hasn't scored since the first couple of games in the tournament. He's overdue one, is one way of looking at that. France might remember they took the lead early in the semi-final against Croatia in the World Cup. Trippier scored from a free kick. Croatia came back to win 2-1 after extra time, so there's plenty of work ahead here. Kane sent tumbling. You don't want to take it quickly, but the referee isn't going to allow that.
The biggest difference you're going to see tonight between these two teams is Immobile you can't play off of. Harry Kane you can. You can drop into the pocket, you can drop into the holes. and then really get after Jorginho, pull him out of position, but then you can play into the feed. Surprise, no pressure whatsoever from Italy. Top of their 18 allows Trippier to deliver that ball. And what a fantastic strike for your first goal for England. Luke Shaw with a brilliant finish.
It was a good finish by Luke Shaw.
Pretty shot, but Shaw turned up there in space behind him. Caught cold, you could say, the Italians there. Here's Kane again. He's kicked a lovely ball out. Trippier again finding space. This time it's too long for Raheem Sterling. Di Lorenzo is receiving the corner.
Well, we saw it against Spain. Italy desperately missed Spinazzola because Emerson just really doesn't want to defend. And so what Gareth Southgate has done is now asked Emerson to make decisions. Do you hold to the ball? Do you put pressure on the ball? Then Di Lorenzo with a sloppy touch of the back post. But right now, Emerson is being forced into some difficult decisions defending, and he's not making the right one so far.
There might be another difficult moment coming up for Italy here. It's an England corner, but Donnarumma can claim that all right with his gigantic frame and tries to set Italy up with the overlay, looking to break into space. The referees right the way through the tournament are taking absolutely no nonsense from players coming out too easily, and that's what the referee decided that overlay was doing there. Brilliant ball out of defence by Stones to Sterling. And Kieran Trippier is one of Gareth Southgate's favourite players. He calls him his warrior. It's not always in the team, but when he is, it's often to pretty good effect, and it has been already here. He set up that goal. Sure, lovely ball down the line. Mount. Another corner.
Luke Shaw's in the best form since breaking that leg in 2015. Because he's done a wonderful job of understanding Mount or Sterling when he's on that side. They've got those 2v1s, and instead of taking a touch, he lays it in behind first time. Dangerous corner coming up here for England.
Coach Harry Maguire, he's already scored direct from a set piece. Convinced these headers. Anthony got a plan for that. And defend it well. Trippier turning up on the left-hand side this time. Here's Mason Mount. Mount who gave his jersey to a little girl in the crowd. She's been hitting headlines ever since. Lovely gesture. Up to cherish. Jorginho. Much goes through him, and a lot of debate about how he might be quelled in this final. We do have some marvellous technicians in that midfield, Italy. Not 33 unbeaten for nothing. Lucky to lay it forward. It was a heavy touch which allowed Declan Rice in. Can pretty much assure you, I can't give you first-hand evidence, that the motorways of England will be absolutely deserted at this moment. Even people who didn't know football from a basketball are interested in this. Same in Italy, flanks for all the windows, blaring car horns. The scam is a religion in both countries. It's Verratti. The pressure on him is trying to break up that passing rhythm that Italy can develop in the middle of the pitch. Jorginho spreading the play. And it's offside anyway, so no quarter even for Italy, who've had a tough start to this game, no question.
Right, but because look at where the position is of Insigne coming through the middle, in behind Calvin Phillips, then Emerson can see it directly in front of him, and those are the combinations with the runs off the ball that they need a little bit more of, especially since that man tore his Achilles in their game against Belgium.
Yeah, he hobbled into Wembley but insisted on travelling with the team. They arrived at Luton yesterday, trained at Tottenham's training ground, which Harry Kane, of course, knows only too well. No spies are out, of course. Shaw had an absolutely wonderful tournament, which has been capped by the early goal.
Well, I called it. I said England will come out the gate fast. I said they would come out strong. I said, you know, Italy needs to match that. And yeah, they came out right out the gate strong, fast, just like I thought they would.
Nucci's long ball. Lovely ball. Nucci to Insigne. That was laser guided, wasn't it? Starting through the header. Nucci in running age, and Chiellini is 17, 219 caps between the pair of them. Those grizzled warriors at the heart of the Italian defence. And the defence which has been breached. High, not too handsome from Walker. Italian fans, 1,000 of them were allowed to bypass the COVID restrictions on condition they only spent 12 hours or so in England. A lot of UK-based Italians as well. So there's about 9,000 supporting the Azzurri. What a game, what a night. This game as well has been a welcome diversion from lockdown and misery for two of the worst hit European nations in the pandemic. Declan Rice. Trippier lays it inside. Here's Kane. The referee wasn't going to give anything there, but eventually got a throw.
Well, England doing a very good job of getting Verratti and Jorginho to follow either Kane and Sterling into that hole. We saw it against Denmark in the semifinal game where Harry Kane can get into that hole. Then you've got the speed and pace around it and the stretch to that line. But England doing a very good job of bypassing that initial Italian press with those balls into the feet to Sterling and Harry Kane.
Yeah, fantastic ball to Shaw. Followed in by a very pumped up Kieran Trippier. Corrected that goal to 2 minutes now. Here's Maguire. Shaw again for England, who've never lost a game in 90 minutes in 16 big tournament games played at Wembley. Was Germany defeated them on penalties in the Euro 1996. Player down in the Jorginho area. I'm not quite sure what the problem is there. That's a worry for Roberto Mancini. Some people wondering whether Jorginho might get the award if tonight went well for him as player of the tournament. He'd certainly be in the conversation, wouldn't he, so far?
It's a great view of just how England got out of that initial line of pressure into the feet of Harry Kane, switched the point of attack. It's just mind-boggling for me at how well this Italian defense has played throughout the entire tournament and throughout the 33-game beaten streak. It's just, you cannot allow Trippier from 18 yards out to pick up his head at halftime and deliver that ball into Luke Shaw.
There's David Beckham, one of 437 players who played for England since 1966 without winning a major tournament. How bad is that for Jorginho? Some concern, of course, Italy did lose, as Taylor was telling you, Leonardo Spinazzola would be in the team of the tournament. I would think he'd been brilliant to that point. That is a big, big miss. It's good to see him here, but it'll be another 6-7 months, I would think, before he could play again or even think of it. And Jorginho, that doesn't look great, does it, for him? Good enough, of course, remember Locatelli maybe to come on.
Remember in 16, Cristiano Ronaldo tried to carry on, he'd take the knee, tried to carry on for about 4 or 5 minutes, but eventually couldn't continue. That doesn't look like Locatelli, that looks like something.
Yeah. I'm going to make maybe put him in the river player who can play at the back or in midfield, Cristante. Now then, here's Chiesa. Back into the top of the road, they made a good run in from the left-hand side. Good work again by Rice. Jorginho has come back on, but he's hobbling. I guess they're going to just give it a couple of minutes and see if he can run that off. Lorenzo on the header, but it's only fallen to Raheem Sterling for England. He starts into space there, looking for something around the edge of the box. No one really to play the 1-2 with. Not at that point, anyway. Here's Insigne. The Wembley's up there with him. Chiesa's arriving, and it's not the right ball from Insigne. That was a good situation, which Italy rather wasted. Jorginho, I think, picked up the problem. Looks like he's going to be okay for the moment, anyway. How cool was he with that decisive penalty at the end against Spain the other night? Stripped it in as if he was out on the park playing with the kids. Anyway, that's on ESPN, which that's next weekend. Atlanta United facing New England Revolution, 5 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Minnesota United against Seattle Sounders, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's all on the ESPN app as well. England have had a polished, professional, prepared look about them all the way through this tournament. You could say pragmatic as well. Italy have been exciting, entertaining, full of goals. She's was it for Chiro Roberto Mancini will be concerned with what he's seen so far from his team, but He believes in these players and he believes in the style that he's instilled into them. We've had a lot of triumphs down the years, Italy, but this would be one of the greatest to do it in England's backyards from behind. With a large part of this huge crowd against them. And over to lay up to Chiesa. Baratti and Insigne from distance. It's not fun to try his luck.
It's a little bit better from Italy, and this is how they got to the final. Just quick passing, two-touch passing, rotations, get into the holes. And they don't have an out-and-out goal scorer, but they've got 5 guys that have 2 goals each. You've seen it being one of those, and they've got the ability to unbalance you, but it's all about their tempo and the pace by which they keep possession, and we haven't seen too much of it 28 minutes in.
Walker again showing his speed to put the fire out there. Trying to chip one down the line, hoping that Mason Mount can make something of it. To say an electric start by England, now Italy just beginning to find a little more of a foothold.
And where England has really done well early on here, Ian, is that they took a page out of Spain's book and they're pressing Italy a little bit further up the field.
Now here's Kane. He has scored in all the knockout stage games so far after drawing a blank in the group, and one or two pretty bad judges saying, well, should they leave him out the team? I don't think Gareth Southgate would have given that one a second thought. Here's Jorginho, just seems to put that knock behind him.
All right, so we're 30 minutes in and still 1-0.
See around the corner. Off by Immobile. Here's Di Lorenzo, who switched to left back in the later stages against Spain. Did okay there as well.
Italy's had a lot more of the ball, 56% to 44%. And 4 fouls each. No yellow cards, no reds. 1 offside each. 2 corner kicks for England. 1 for Italy. And of course, both teams have had 1 shot. And England, well, actually, Italy's had 2 shots, not on goal. England 1 shot, 1 goal. So England's only taken 1 shot, and they're, you know, that was their first. I think they scored in 2 minutes in. So
Mason Mount in good spots to draw a free kick. For the first time this tournament, we've seen a nervy start from Italy.
Yeah, lost 2 fullbacks, haven't they, in the tournament? Florenzi injured in the first game. He'd probably be first choice. And Spinazzola is Ruben Maxley. Sterling winning it back. Famously grew up around here and played for a team called Alpha and Omega until they discovered him playing in the street. Just thinking, Insigne's work rate is incredible, isn't it, really? There's Emerson, who can't get a kick for Chelsea, and the players ahead of him. Well, one of them anyway, that Chilwell, can't get a kick in this tournament at all. Hasn't played a single minute for England, and not even on the bench today. Chiellini, there's Jorginho, Insigne, lost to attack from that position. England know about that. They tried to close the door. Just 1 or 2 signs here of Italy beginning to establish a measure of midfield control. Mascherano scored a great goal against Belgium, didn't he? His first big tournament goal, the Interman. Verratti. Getting the passing together now is Insigne. I'm happy to sit in just for the moment. Insigne and Verratti. Walker took too long until he pickpocketed the ball. Looked to redesign the attack. Verratti. Insigne. Emerson, is he going to get there? He couldn't get it. Keep the door shut. Look at the murders going on between Trippier and Emerson there. That is not an invitation to any party coming up.
So the Southgate knew exactly what Italy wanted to do, and let's go down the left and allow the freedom of movement with Insigne coming inside, and then Emerson trying to time those runs in behind. So what has he done? He's brought in Trippier to come in here, defend that, but then Kyle Walker is your pace and your cover and your balance in behind that. So it's very difficult for Italy to get behind that back line. Yes, they've had a little bit of possession in between the midfield, but how many threatening diagonal runs have we seen? Very few.
Can't got a flick out to Sterling. Mount. Trying to find Sterling again. The idea was a good one, but this time the Italian defenders were there. And then looking for those fast breaks and 1-2s around the edge of the box. Very similar to the way Spain produced their goal against the Italians.
It is, but so much of it is Sterling and Mount running off a Harry Kane. They know when Harry Kane drops into the pocket, they've got to be that vertical threat in behind, and they're timing those runs perfectly.
And have only been 3 comeback wins in European Championship finals by France in 2000, Germany here in 1996, and by the Soviet Union in the very first edition in 1960. Italy trying to add themselves to that list. Di Lorenzo, Barella, and now Chiesa. And handled a bit by Rice, but the referee let that go. And Chiesa was strong, it goes on! And this is a shot just wide. That was the best yet from the Azzurri.
It's just so direct and it's explosive. Yes, Declan Rice comes in here and you feel like Chiesa is in a controlled spot, but he's not. He blows right by you, but then it's definitive. Take on the defender and have a hit. And what has caught me by surprise throughout this entire tournament, and especially in this building, how composed he is in those critical moments. He has scored 2 fantastic goals here at Wembley.
Both in that goal as well at that end. And of course his dad, Enrico, scored in 1996 at Anfield when the tournament was held in England. Now the only father and son scorers in the history of the Euros. Maguire looking to drop one in behind for sure. It was a beautiful pass. Shaw goes on. Across the face of goal. And Italy very, very stretched. Emerson it was. There was there with Trippier waiting behind him.
How about this ball from Harry Maguire over the top? It gets Luke Shaw 1v1 against Di Lorenzo. What a fantastic ball over the top to open up the game.
I think any of the great midfield players, playmakers, would have been happy with that pass from Maguire.
Yeah, but what's amazing is 6 weeks recovery and he returns from the ankle to play at that level.
I think he's still feeling that a little bit, but he's played through the pain. Certainly in his first game back, Taylor, he was wincing. You could see that even in the warm-up, and he needed a bit of reassurance from the physios that he was ready.
See, this is where Gareth Southgate has got tactics spot on here. This is exactly what Spain did to Italy in the semi-final and frustrated them because you cannot play into Immobile up front. Bonucci's got the ability to play in there, but Immobile's got to hold possession there. It's a bad turnover. England going the other way.
It was really given away by Immobile with a wasteful luxury pass from him, really. So he could have done without that. England have been shut off from all the hype and hoopla in the country in St George's Park headquarters. And they were told by Gareth Southgate in a meeting after the semi-final, well, we've got this far, but which colour medal do you want? Good luck for Madison. Nice start into the challenge, and again the free kick goes the way of England.
Well, the England players begging the referee that should have been a yellow, but understanding cup finals, studs weren't shown. I'm okay with no card there. It's just difficult to break down England right now, isn't it, Ian? Because every single place they turn, unless they turn them over and try to get the back three into space, Rice and Phillips are sitting in front of the back three. It's almost impossible to get them in some bad spots.
Continues ball from Shearing over there. The flag is up anyway. Another moment. That's what he said. That Gareth Southgate and England are winning the tactical battle. Saw the couple of grass definitely offside. Just like a manicured lawn, the surface at Wembley. We were watering it before the game. Goodness knows why, because we've had enough rain and more's on the way during the game, we're told. Put it this way, heat is not a problem. They won't need a water break here. No way out. I'm going to play this one to Di Lorenzo. Jorginho helps it on. Barella to Emerson. It's nice build up this time by Italy. Emerson, hurried cross really. Easily cleared by Calvin Phillips. I do love in this tournament the way the referees just let the game go and had no time for any theatrics. Here's Jorginho again. And signed by Di Lorenzo. And the cul-de-sac for Immobile.
And so you can see the frustration settle in here for Immobile because Jorginho giving him an absolute earful here, just sloppy touches. Quick passes is exactly how Italy has gotten to the final. Yet there's been sloppy, methodical touches that has limited them the ability to break down England. Remember, there's that near post run early on in this tournament where they scored a goal on the set piece.
For Kane for that, they went back again. He couldn't start with it. The chess match goes on here. Ellison. Verratti. Ellison again, this time he elects to try to put the cross in, but Trippier makes sure that cross never arrived. England with that early goal, but now they also have another early goal in the Euro 96 semi. Alan Shearer scored very quickly. Gianni tied it up and one apiece, and Gianni won the penalty shootout. So that great football brain ticking, can't you? Roberto Mancini. He's a very good player. He has Gianluca Vialli, his old Sampdoria strike partner, with him on the team. Kane, good ball to Mount. Kane again. Sterling going down as Di Lorenzo challenging on the edge of the box, but the referee said nothing doing there. Well, it's a handball. The referee says no to that as well. It's a strong run here by Declan Rice. Couldn't get the pass right to Raheem Sterling. And once again, we've seen that signal right the way through for this referee. Get up and get on with it. Going to give a lot of tributes, I think, to Roberto Rossetti, the referee supremo for this tournament. They thought long and hard how they're going to rep it, and they've got a lot of plaudits doing so. Insigne here. Trippier and Walker over there trying to block his path. Anderson can bring it inside here. He can get the shot away for Stone's got a foot in. Italy tapping on the door, but not just getting close to knocking it down yet. We need to get a bit of extra tempo into these attacks, Italy. Insigne, regard to pull that out of the sky, very difficult at pulling the ball down when it's coming over your shoulder. Four minutes at a time, we'll get the comments of two great players, Steve McManaman and Alessandro Del Piero at half time for you, so don't miss that. Gareth Southgate, if he can hold on and win this, he's due a knighthood at least. He might even become Prime Minister. Insigne. He doesn't within demand. If they can get him into the game a little more. Di Lorenzo's trying to get their shot in. This time an overlay shot is blocked. Jorginho Verratti on the turn didn't get any juice into it.
Yeah, but this may be the recipe for Italy to get a little bit more rhythm going forward, as Di Lorenzo maybe provided an option in wide areas, providing that support so then Chiesa can come inside. And then there's another opportunity to deliver a ball in, good ball in from Di Lorenzo.
Powerful play from Rice, who's been a standout player in what is his first major tournament. The young West Ham United player, West Ham fans, of course, always joked that he was they who won the World Cup for England, because all 4 of the goals were scored by West Ham players in 1966. Trying to tiptoe his way through. Reflection on Insignia's pass makes it easy for Manchester City's John Stones. Calvin Phillips of Leeds United. Left from Harry Maguire of Manchester United. Shaw, clever ball, Mount, Sterling, the two the face of the attack, couldn't get it through to Kane. Lavella. Yeah, touch, wasn't it, that by Insigne? Henderson kept it alive. It's the little Napoli wizard Insigne again. England fans want a whistle for half time, I think. Long range effort from Paducci. He's only scored 7 in his long Italian career. His half-time tweaks will be interesting, won't they?
Yeah, because he's going to have to find a way to unlock this back 5 of England. I mean, this first half embodies the entire tournament for England. 1 shot, 1 goal. And yet they've been very difficult to break down. And while Gareth Southgate has been heavily criticized, and I think to a certain extent, rightfully so, it's been effective. Italy may have 6 shots on goal, but Ian, how many of them were real testing? So Mancini's got to find a way to get them going in the final third. Maybe going 2-3 in the back.
Yeah, that's coming out. Those half-time team talks for England remain ahead. Luke Shaw with the fastest goal ever scored in a European Championship final. His first goal for England, who lead by a goal to 0 at half-time here.
All right, that is halftime. Still England 1, Italy 0, and we're at the half. So let's check and see what the stats look like. I mean, Italy's had all the possession, 64% to 36 for England. Italy's had 5 shots with only 1 on goal. England's only had 1 shot on goal, and that's the 1 goal. Other than that, they really haven't done a whole lot. Let's look at the match stats. 6 fouls on Italy, 6 fouls on Italy, 5 on England. No yellow cards, no red cards. 2 offsides for Italy, 1 for England. 2 corner kicks for England, 1 for Italy, and England's made 1 save and no saves for the Italians. So realistically, outside of the goal that England scored, I mean, they really haven't threatened the Italian goal. So, you know, but they have the goal, and that's all that matters in football. So I'm going to take a quick break and take a quick break, and I will be back in a little bit for the second half. All right. I am back. We're getting ready to start the second half. So let's get it.
World Cup final when they beat what was then Czechoslovakia, coming from behind. So it's not an easy thing to do generally in this game, but we've seen 1,000 twists and turns along the way covering this sport over the years, Taylor. So it'll be interesting to see how Italy play this a little differently in the second half. No personnel changes that we can see.
No, but you wonder if there may be a little bit of a tactical switch and push Emerson as far up the field as you can and just allow Insigne to go find the game. They've got to find a way to get in behind that back five of England, which was virtually impossible in the first 45.
England kick off the second half in their all-white outfit. And straight away the ball is aimed towards Harry Kane, whose picture adorns most newspaper front pages this morning. He can overtake Cristiano Ronaldo and win the Golden Boot if he scores a couple of goals in this game. That's a pretty big if, especially with only half the match remaining. And let's go from Luke Shaw, who only scored once all season for Manchester United. That was in the Manchester derby, though. A great goal against Manchester City. Maguire takes no chances. Lorenzo looking to get the cross in. We told the crowd was going to be about 60,000. It looks more than that, to be honest with you. The place is throbbing and rocking, just as many living rooms, fan zones all across the country, even on a Sunday night in England, will be doing. The Queen has sent a good luck message to the England players as well. Prince William is here, and son George as well. That's the first yellow card of the proceedings. Garella is the player who goes in the book. Maguire to hit it on towards Shaw, who's pushed forward at every opportunity and obviously to some effect. He's Shaw again. The ball is at Sterling here, breaking into the gap that goes down in the penalty area. The referee's not going to give this one. Sterling is furious. He pumped the turf with his fist while he got the controversial one against Denmark. The Danes are still arguing about that. And this time, another Dutch referee, Bjorn Kuipers, was not giving it. We might get the views of Mark Clattenburg on that in a moment, the man who refereed the last Euro final in 2016. Away by Pickford and out of touch. Well, what about that? Mark Blackburn, England and Sterling thought they should have had a penalty.
You're certainly not going to get a gift there. There is a slight contact on the arm of Sterling and he just throws himself down. There's got absolutely no chance to get out at the end of it because the goalkeeper won't get there first.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, looked the right decision, didn't it? No penalty. To Di Lorenzo. Chiellini. I'm sure Jordi Alba appreciated his jerky antics ahead of the penalty shootout the other night, the bear hug. Chiellini seemed to think it was all great fun. And it turned out, in the end, that penalty shootout was great fun for Italy. Can they find a way back into this? Insigne. Yeah, it's given the free kick here at the edge of the box.
Yeah, but this is much better from Italy because their spacing and balance is set up better. So now Insigne is off the right shoulder of Philip. Sterling has to come in a little bit late, recover, and now you've got yourself a dangerous free kick. The spacing and balance was much better than we saw throughout the entire first 45.
Danger here for England and hope for Italy.
All right, so Italy has a free kick outside the box. This is a dangerous, dangerous free kick. This is in a dangerous territory.
This is where, at times, I feel like Jordan Pickford can be a little jumpy, and so he's got to trust his wall from this angle and believe that his wall can cover that half of the goal.
It's Insigne. It was dipping, but it wasn't dipping quick enough. Some people can't bear to watch.
And see, that's exactly what Insigne is thinking about. And look at Jordan Pickford in a much better position than he was against Denmark in the semifinal. Trust your wall, and if the player gets it up over the wall, you tip your cap. And that's much better from England defending that set piece.
Insigne did score here at Wembley. The last time Italy played England in an international, a 1-1 draw, late equaliser from him from the spot. Jamie Vardy was the England goal scorer on that occasion. He's opted out of playing international football these days, otherwise might have made the squad. All the time it's like this, 1-0, this is a nervy nail-biter. For both sets of supporters, and for Gareth Southgate as well, who wasn't sure he really wanted the job when it first became available after a newspaper sting saw the end of Sam Allardyce. Another strong piece of play by Rice, and Kane can't find a way through. Off goes the speedy Chiesa. Looking to find Insigne, but Kyle Walker was through this personified. Change coming up here. Brian Cristante of Roma. I'll get to that in a moment. Let's watch Chiellini here. Immobile. Substitutes have got some effect for Italy in this tournament. A couple of them have scored twice. Is Insigne. With the dart inside and let go with the right foot. Seeing that and he knew it was coming. He couldn't execute that time. So here comes that change. Waiting to make it as well. Seems to be a bit of slowness getting that electronic board ready. wanted to do that race. Not sure having a stormer on my side. He's had to take charge about his weight in the past. But there's no doubt about his fitness and speed in this tournament. Canelo, who's been yellow carded, been part of the thinking, but they're tied up taking him off and putting Cristante in there.
Yeah, but it also allows Verratti to take a little bit more of an advanced position. But this is the more interesting move. Immobile coming off, Verratti coming in. So now you have free-flowing front three. Immobile is an out-and-out number 9. He's going to operate between the 18s. But now the front three, there's a little bit more flexibility and mobility to it to maybe ask some questions of this back five of England.
Verratti's interesting. He started the tournament. Bonucci on Sterling. And yellow for the Italian, who is breaking a record tonight with his 18th Euro appearance for Italy. He's only ever played once in the World Cup, remarkably. Yellow card there. And then attacking the end where they're noisiest, where they're down to gather just a little problem with the sound system for referee viewing counters. Shows delivery, Maguire winning the header again, and it wasn't really the finishing header he was looking for.
No, but England led this entire European Championship creating chances off the set pieces. And a lot of that has been off the delivery from Luke Shaw.
Jorginho. Insignia's got a bit more central and after those substitutions, and Chiesa here for the moment up on the left-hand side. See if that can make a difference. Looking for the crochet. Insigne, can he find his feet here? Got a shot away. Pickford getting his gloves to it. Hector from Italy. Maybe a new set of problems for England's defence to solve after those switches by Roberto Mancini. Marco Verratti. But I think we're running with today's referee in the Champions League when Paris Saint-Germain played Manchester City. He accused counters of swearing at him.
But now this is a little bit more difficult to defend because you've got three players that in 1v1 situations can break you down. Immobile was very predictable. Now you've got Verratti, Chiesa, Insigne, and then Verratti coming in behind. So now this is a different test for the three center backs of England. And where they've been fantastic tonight is Rice and Phillips having a real good understanding when one pushes forward, the other sits in. So there's always that little protection in front of John Stones.
Can Italy find a combination to the safe? I'm quite happy to sit in and look for fast breaks. Jorginho. Just about kept in play. Verratti was lively when he came out against Spain. Was a starter ahead of Chiesa at the start of the tournament for Italy. He's never going to forget this night as long as he lives.
He looked like you in 1966.
The tickets on that occasion cost the equivalent of $5. Bonatti, St. Pat.
Where Italy have to be very, very careful here is when this ball turns over, where's Raheem Sterling on the counter?
Jorginho. Di Lorenzo to stand it up. Free kick England.
The biggest concern coming into this tournament for Roberto Mancini is they don't have an out-and-out goal scorer, a guy they can rely on, like a Harry Kane, like a Romelu Lukaku. But I like what Roberto Mancini has done here, because you know that England are going to sit on top of that 18 with their 5 defenders and the 2 defensive midfielders in front of it, and so now you've got to get some fluidity and some runs to try to open them up and pull them out of position.
I wonder if Roberto Mancini might go to Manuel Locatelli, who's got a couple of goals and looked pretty good. Is he unlucky to lose his place? He remains our extra alone as Ross goes on another of those driving runs at the heart of the Italian defence. Teams scoring first. There's one in each of the last 4 Euro finals. This is the first time England have even made the final. It's over half a century since Italy won this thing, though, despite their World Cup successes along the way. In 1968, when Luigi Riva and Pietro Anastasi got the goals against Yugoslavia in a replay. It was at home in Rome. Here's Chiesa. Straight right, can he find it? Can't take the great stop. But Chiesa does look a menace, and he very, very nearly found the answer for Italy there. Insigne this time. Looks like England are backing themselves to sit in there and keep Italy out with this 1-goal lead. But what to stop this is.
What a fantastic save this is from Jordan Pickford. And Chiesa just off balances you as a defender with his quick movement, just very direct. He did everything right. Big save from Jordan Pickford.
That was absolutely massive from him. Had a bit of criticism in the last game for looking a bit nervy in the first half, but generally he's never really let England down. And he certainly did that for that here for England. And those scenes behind the players, I think, require no caption.
Corner kick for England.
And we're going through that old World Cup routine again here.
So let's see what England can do on this corner kick. We're in the 63rd minute.
Everybody's got egos.
30 minutes plus extra time. Well, 27 minutes plus extra time. Here comes the corner kick. Oh!
Chipped through the bar by Donnarumma.
Well, the England attacking players have a ton of momentum there with that zonal marking from Italy. Donnarumma had to be very careful with that header. Great ball in from Trippier.
England are winning these headers from these set pieces. Here comes another one. This time, Bonucci can power it away. Di Lorenzo winning the header. I mean, what can only be described, I think, really as rising tension at Wembley. And I'm sure around the nations in England and Italy. Fourth Euro final this for Italy. They've won that one in 1968, lost the last couple that they've been involved in. Shaw looking to drop that ball in behind for Mason Mount. It's a favourite ploy, that of England, in particular channel, that inside left channel, if you like. Marco Verratti. Emerson. Verratti. The time has rather been laboured, but it is worth repeating. I think they really do miss Spinazzola down that left-hand side. Cristante. Italy trying to subject England to death by 1,000 passes, but England will be happy enough because all the time the ball is out here.
Look how much further up the field Chiellini is.
Chiesa's ball in, and Maguire with a, well, it had to be a contortionist really to get that away.
Chiellini pushing further up the field, that drags Declan Rice out of position and allows Chiesa then to cut inside and deliver a dangerous ball for Jordan Pickford. Good defending from Maguire.
There's something coming for Italy. Here comes the corner. It's flicked on, bouncing around dangerously. Scramble.
Goal by Italy! Goal! Goal by Italy! Goal! 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 Goal!
The momentum's been on their side at the start of this second half, and a lot of it is Mancini tactically switching, pushing numbers forward a little bit more, and also making a couple changes. Set pieces, Jordan Pickford can't get a hand on it here inside the post. And the 34-year-old Leonardo Bonucci in the right spot at the right time. Mancini in Italy back in this here at Wembley.
Look at those celebrations. Pickford's face tells the story. That face tells the story as well. Italy are level. How did England react to that? They've been rather sitting on the lead. Both by Chiellini, Bonucci by the way, Chiellini both played in the 2012 final 9 years ago when they took that huge defeat 4-0. Spain. Chiellini had to go off after 20 minutes of that one.
Hey there, what is it, Ento03 Legend? What's up, my man?
They can go on and win this because here's Emerson making a run forward against a now slightly shell-shocked England. Here's Chiesa. right across the face of goal. Well, I'm hoping somebody would be on the end of it. Case's gesture said, well, why wasn't anybody? Bonucci strikes.
Wow.
The old
Bonucci, of all people, huh? We've had two defenders score in this game. Luke Shaw and Bonucci. Wow.
It is in the Italian DNA to finish one off in the most important moment.
Incredible.
And it came from one of their leaders, Leonardo Bonucci.
What next? England do have a habit of letting early leads slip in big games. A few times.
But who's got the superior bench in this game? England. Now, whether or not Gareth Southgate uses it is another question. And that's been the one criticism I think's been fair throughout the entire tournament. Managers are judged on substitutions and tactical switches as few as they can throughout an entire game. Well, Southgate has some good decisions to be made here.
He sure does. Okay, Saka from Arsenal. Saka has coming on, looks like it. Okay.
A little bit unlucky to lose his place in the starting lineup with the tactical switch. Shot a very mature interview with him last night ahead of the game.
Trippier is coming off.
Straight away he said courage. That's what we need, courage. Up goes Kieran Trippier, who's played his part all right, setting up that early goal. But the mood music is different now, Taylor.
It is, but it's also a tactical switch. Now England will play four in the back. Saka will play as that right winger. Kane through the middle, Sterling off the left, but Mount in the middle with Rice and Phillips.
And this Kane, who's blatantly blocked, surely the referee says play on, which I think is a pretty extraordinary decision. Jorginho clearly impeded in that.
All right, this game is finally heated up.
Italy showing why they've gone nearly 3 years unbeaten. And do average 2.5 goals a game under Roberto Mancini. They delivered one when it was needed here too. MLS on ESPN returning next weekend. The Plan against New England Revolution on Saturday at 5 Eastern. Then on Sunday, Minnesota United against Seattle Sounders at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's on the ESPN app as well, both those games.
I'm just wondering, with this switch now in formation, do you bring in some fresh legs through the middle? Mount has put in a great shift. So has Calvin Phillips. Is this where you turn to the leadership of a Jordan Henderson? You've made the tactical switch to go to four in the back. I just feel like through the middle, Gareth Southgate needs a little bit more freshness.
Here's Kane. When England faced a bit of a mini crisis in the semi against Denmark, they pulled themselves together and came up with an equaliser a few minutes later. Did England invite trouble, Taylor? They were sitting back a lot, weren't they?
Absolutely, and that's the problem with giving up that much space to Italy, and Mancini took it. He made the switch, took off Immobile, who was very predictable. Now they've become unpredictable going forward, and they're more difficult to defend.
Okay, Jordan Henderson's coming on. That's interesting.
There's Jordan Henderson, read your mind, I think, Taylor.
That's the right move, because the way you play throughout the first 60 minutes, Mason Mount has put in a real shift. And if you're going to chase this game in the momentum, they need some freshness.
Well, there's another opportunity.
Ooh.
With Verratti arriving late on the scene.
Wow.
Keep it down. Pickford didn't get there. And suddenly, this is a very nervy Wembley among the England supporters, because Italy look a real threat now.
Wow. Man, that was close.
Step to Rice. He's got off that way. Calvin Phillips. All remains it now. He goes over to get some fresh instructions. Jordan Henderson, who missed the last 3 or 4 months of the season with a hip injury, which is why he hasn't been a regular starter in these championships, brings his considerable experience and leadership qualities to bear. They may be needed up there by England.
All right, this one is going down to the wire. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Lets the play go on. Phillips dived in with a challenge for this. Italy controlling that football in these areas now. The ball moving swiftly between those blue shirts. You stand players looking to drive through the Atalanta goal. Inside to Insigne. England rocking a bit at the moment. Chiesa. Walker to the rescue on that occasion. Here is Saka, still only 19. Both the goals scored by defenders. And it's the first time there have been multiple goals by defenders in any Euro or World Cup final. We get it from a very good statistical team. So they'll help with that one. Marco Verratti. Federico Chiesa, they just started to find some interesting angles with these passes.
What was that, Maguire? What was that, Harry? The hell was that?
There's no option for England to play out of that pressure, and that's the successful tactic that got Italy to this European Cup final. They've done a fantastic job in the attacking third immediately when they lose possession, put pressure on you, and then get possession back. And right now, they've completely taken the momentum away from England. I mean, how many times have you said Harry Kane or Raheem Sterling's name in the last 10 minutes here?
Yep, underlines the point. Italy are in control of this at the moment. Can they turn what was a 1-goal deficit into a 1-goal lead? Medina being made to suffer. Jorginho, pressure on the ball at all at the moment, having to grin and bear it. I'm not sure they're even grinning. Chiellini, up to Emerson. This is an entirely different chapter of the football match. He's just got that slip away from him. Here's Kane, who one-handed in trying to nudge him off the ball. Now Maguire picks it up. He's lost out though. And then eventually, the referee did blow his whistle. I thought he wasn't going to. You had to think about that one.
And there was a little delay to him blowing the whistle. What's very interesting, when Jordan Henderson came onto the field and immediately Mason Mount turned and started to move to the bench as if he was coming out. So you wonder if there was a little bit of a misunderstanding with Declan Rice maybe being injured. But right now, both Mount and Phillips are struggling to have an impact on this game.
Here's Maguire. It's definitely caught, wasn't it? It's going to be a free kick. I think you might call it collective neurosis. Saka taken out of it by Verratti.
I think Verratti he's a little lucky here to get away without a yellow.
I mean, he did try to pull out of the tackle, so.
A word with the referee about it. I agree with him.
I think it's good to let the pair of it go. Maybe he's let a little too much go tonight at times. Because the players will always push the edge, aren't they? They'll always push the boundaries. This is now a rare foray forward by England. Shaw to play it in there. Not quite up for position. As it's picked up by Verratti, can they get the break going? Yes, they can, because it's Chiesa. And the door is slammed. But his direct running and speed is unsettling the England defence. Nice. Holding his face.
And it's been how good is Kyle Walker's defending, and so much of it is that he has the pace to recover even when he is beat with that touch. As good as Maguire, Stones, and Shaw have been, I can make a real good argument that Kyle Walker's the most important defender for England because he covers up so many difficult spots with that pace to recover.
There's no time for a conversation with Calvin Phillips about that in the middle of it all. He does speak good English. And Chris Van Day is arguing a point there with the coach.
And this is that goal. It's the near post run from Cristante to flick it onto the back post. And in these moments, these critical moments, you need luck on your side for that ball to hit the inside of the post and bounce right to Bonucci.
Big goal. He knows it. From a big game player. First off the scene to congratulate him. His mate Giorgio Chiellini, not content with playing alongside each other all season. Apparently they're going on a holiday together on Wednesday with their families. So just the 2 day break. Flying up tomorrow, meet up on Wednesday. I'm sure Scholes seems a long time ago now, England with plenty to ponder, facing problems in this game and really needing to find some answers. And quickly, there's Sir Jeff Hurst as he now is, the scorer of that England hat-trick against what was then West Germany in 1966. Chiesa, a bit reverse for them. Italy need him fit and firing because he's been a real thorn in England's side in this game. Bernadeschi is going to come on to replace him here, so I think we've seen the end of Federico Chiesa. That's a bit of a blow for Italy, isn't it, Taylor?
It's a massive blow. Because this game turned on its head when all three players for Italy can break you down 1v1. They're very good, dynamic players in good spots, and seeing it playing in that false nine role. So Chiesa has to come out here, and that is a huge blow to this Italian attack.
Bernadeschi has come on, didn't get a single Serie A goal this last season for Juventus. It got another draw in that. Maybe thinking now's a pretty good time to get one. Sure for England. Trying to get their mojo back in the game with Mount. Shaw. Mount again. To cut it back, can't stop. Sarri couldn't quite bring it under control. Italy great, was it just hang that one away? John Stones. Casey's come back on. You have to keep up with all the musical chairs and the sticking up in these games. And 5 substitutes allowed, and referee shows another yellow card entry senior.
At some point, persistent infringement has to play a factor in this game. As big of a game as it is, the referee has to gain control of the game here.
Otherwise, the players will take liberties, thinking, well, he'll let that skip, he'll let that run. This time the card has been produced, and Insigne. Barrella's gone off. Amici in the book for Italy. Shaping up to be another long night at Wembley. Out to play again there towards Maguire. Shaw. Fancies it now, doesn't he? There is this change. Mason did come back, and now he will be replaced by Federico Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi did have a start against Wales when Mancini made several changes to rescue players. He's a live wire. For certain, he's known that the Juventus is very likely to turn into a transfer which will make him the most expected Italian player. He's innocent. Even looking to make more of a fight of him in that midfield, because Italy had taken over it there for a while. Italy had got a scramble of there, they wouldn't care about that. England fans trying to lift the players with the 18th edition of Football's Coming Home, and the players being stopped just for the moment with somebody trying to make a bit of a spectacle of themselves. Outside, it seemed to me several of the fans were slightly the worst to wear before they even got into Wembley tonight. The young man concerned was causing the problem, because the TV cameras were not giving the oxygen of publicity by showing him as eventually being caught.
Some idiot fan just ran on the field, clown. Now his ass is going to get locked up, idiot.
You wonder what's next here, don't you?
For his 5 minutes of fame. What a clown.
Turned.
Why would you pay all that money for tickets and then run on the field to get locked up, to miss the rest of the game? What an idiot.
Here's Maguire. He's going forward.
Well, unless something happens in the next couple of minutes, we're going to have extra time. You know what? I like the Copa America rules, how they go straight into penalties after regulation.
there. And he's off running out. Defense is trying to run here from Sterling. Look at all those blue shirts around him. That's gone out of play. It'll be a goal kick.
It's really the first opportunity tonight that we've seen Sterling get a little momentum and find some space 1v1 with Bonucci. Southgate set up this team, the early goal, that defensive structure, and Sterling and Mount have just done a real good job of tucking in, but it's really limited their impact on the final third. Because if anything, with Chiellini and Bonucci, and you would want Sterling running off a game the way we saw it against Denmark and trying to use his pace to get in behind.
England taking a pretty cautious, conservative approach for the second half. Actually, sending out a message, what we have, we hold. But they didn't hold it. Now they've got to go out and try and win the game again. Let's lays it right here is Raheem Sterling. Italy won it back and can now break with Bernardeschi. Different Italian attack now. Not from Insigne.
Nah.
The 90 minutes are up into stoppage time. Looks like another big final at Wembley, heading for extra time as the 1966 World Cup final hit and the 1996 Euro final here. Which is literally won by the old golden goal. We'll have a beer hot Germany here. It's 5 minutes and only time of 6 is at 6.
And now against a tired back line, this is where the value of Sterling and that pace and the relentless pressure he puts on you can be a huge factor.
And there will be some tired legs and minds out there now at the end of what's been a long month. 7th game for these two teams. Late England free kick. Maguire won the header. Stones is up there with him. Until we get the free kick as Marco Bonatti goes down. Italy has shown that old tournament experience that we've seen so often in the past. Not perhaps quite so much in more recent years. They've kind of messed up in their last 3 World Cup campaigns, not even qualifying for the last finals in Russia. After that, in came Mancini, and everything looked right again. Cristante, no real target man in there. Insigne's under little, he's pretty strong. Walker wanted in there. Henderson's ball. Right by Saka. No nonsense again from Chiellini, who's approaching his 37th birthday. What a player, what a character he's been. Looks like that might have caused a problem, but Donnarumma was there. Sterling was making headway in that direction. Jorginho finding Emerson. Verratti. Bonucci to spread the play. Stoppage time ticking away. Still about 3 minutes left of it. Is there one last chance left in this? Maybe Italy are quite content to go the long route. They had one extra day's rest between the semi and final. England spent a day later. Abati. By Saka, Henderson on towards Kane. Quickly, Italy regained possession, and that's been the story of the second half in the main. You probably need to huddle around Gareth Southgate and have another think about things. And this is almost like the Nobel Peace Prize at the moment, isn't it? Being handed out. Both teams appearing to just settle for the extra time, unless here's Berardi and Cristante. Now they've changed the tempo of the attack, and Walker fully done for him again. Pickford, the spotted Mount's run. Good idea. Jorginho's ball in behind, and Cristante has made a run there.
He's made a run, but Calvin Phillips had a great awareness there because Cristante was in behind.
How much is left in the tank for these two teams with extra time looming?
There isn't, but at some point Southgate is going to have to use the bench to his advantage. That's going to be a good one.
Can't do that. Doesn't matter who you are. It was pretty unceremonious from Chiellini.
Yeah, but the question is, that ball actually hits the arm of Saka right here. That ball hits the left arm of Saka. Right in front of the assistant referee, misses that. The referee sees the yellow, rightfully so, from Chiellini.
So because they handball, it's before the offence, isn't it? But they haven't called the handball, and just goes the free kick. And Chiellini does go into the book. Phillips drives it towards Harry Maguire, who doesn't win this Italy have shown great result.
All right, well, we're going into extra time, folks.
Now, first half belongs to England, early goal from Luke Shaw. Seems an age ago.
All right, well, extra football, I love it. Let's give a quick recap. Italy has 67% of the possession, which I mean, they dominated the second half. England had 33%. 14 shots for Italy, 5 on target, 4 shots for England, 2 on target. So, I mean, it's been a pretty dominant performance by Italy. I mean, they've pretty much controlled this entire game. A lot of fouling by Italy, though. 16 fouls to 7 for England. 3 yellow cards for Italy, none for England. Interesting. No red cards. 2 offsides for Italy, 1 for England. 2 corner kicks for Italy, 4 for England. 4 saves for Pickford, the English goalkeeper, and 1 for Donnarumma. So we're going into extra time. I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back for extra time. All right. So, all right, we're back from full time. We're going into extra time. Looks like England's going to kick this one off. So, and Italy are making a substitute. Who is
Belotti, the perennial top scorer for Torino.
okay? So Bellotti is coming on, but who's going off?
We'll wait to see who it is making way.
It's for Insigne.
Insigne. Oh, must have got a knock. Interesting.
He was one of those on the yellow card as well. So and comes Belotti, who are actually used from the bench in this tournament. How do England play? I wonder. They won it in extra time the other night against Denmark, albeit in somewhat controversial fashion. Straight away, Stones was closed down there by Verratti, who waves all the other blue-shirted players forward. Through 75 minutes, touches in the attacking third, read 81 to Italy and 21 to England in that second half. This tells the story of how the game swung. The Italian lost in the Wimbledon men's singles final today. Matteo Berrettini against the great Novak Djokovic. Italy trying to change the nation's sporting fortunes on the day here. Bernardeschi. Marina crossing and had a play down Jordan Henderson on the far side. And
what happened to Henderson?
Knocked to the face as
Got
well.
picked off.
Ooh, blocked off by Henderson, wasn't he?
Yeah, Emerson knew exactly what he was doing. Similar to Rudiger versus De Bruyne in the Champions League final.
Not with the same nasty consequences by the
Absolutely.
look at there, because Kevin De Bruyne fractured an eye socket, didn't he, among other injuries there. Some rather worried England supporters now they've seen just why Italy are so highly rated. Belotti. Cristante. A chip on him behind. There's a blow there to Harry Maguire. Berardi apologises.
He didn't even touch him. And you ain't gonna say nothing about that, commentator? He didn't even touch him with the foot. And Maguire's holding his head. Seriously?
Saka, look at all the pressure on the ball from Italy. It's almost manic sometimes, their press. Hard to deal with.
It is, but it's
Wow, he didn't say
true.
anything about that, huh? Man didn't even touch Harry Maguire and he's holding his head.
Shaw joining the attack. And they're now kicking away. They
Interesting.
were in the first half where they took the lead and looked bright. Question whether they can pick up the pieces. Rodrigo Ivani, saw him there, who's been rather unkindly called the Groucho Marx lookalike, the former Milan player. He's going through the book on the substitution.
So much of the conversation coming into this cup final is whether or not the pressure would be inspiring or suffocating for England. And listen, I get it. It's a cup final. You'll take a goal wherever you can. But it's almost as if, Ian, that the second minute goal from Luke Shaw forced England to just sit in, and now all of a sudden that Italy's dropped the game to them, taken the game by the scruff of the neck. Now it's almost as if England can't get going.
Yeah, they're trying to pick up the pieces, I think. It's Bonucci. Those long balls, Bonucci is another of them trying to pick up the from a Ferrari. Italy, remember, did beat England in a penalty shootout in Euro 2012. Memory of that is that cheeky Panenka penalty from Andrea Pirlo. Henderson to Sterling. Possibilities to get that cross right. Great cover in Chiellini.
There are times where you need to pinch yourself and make sure that Chiellini is still 36 and not 26. Look at this recovery. Back turnover in the middle, and a great recovery from Chiellini.
Look at that, and they celebrate every piece of defensive work as if it's a party, fist bumps. Here comes Marco Volante to replace in midfield. It's a fresh pair of legs. Manuel Locatelli will come on. That's 5 substitutes by Italy. They are allowed another one, of course, because of the extra time. And a couple from England so far. Some of the Jack Grealish or Marcus Rashford. Shaw plays this ball in. Phillips who can hit them! And it was screaming just right with Donnarumma, a little worried about where that was ending up.
Yeah, it looked like it was well wide.
Calvin Phillips has been fantastic in this tournament, off the ball, just box-to-box work.
Yeah, it's a good,
covering Declan Rice in the back.
it's a good 4 feet wide, 5 feet wide.
Remember the opening goal against Croatia, fantastic
Not
ball.
even close.
Just really good hit there on top of the 18.
Those who hadn't even played in the Premier League this time last year. Man of the match in the opening game that England had here against Croatia. He has started every game. She chips it up towards Bernardeschi. It's Kane. Henderson did well. And not so well. First it was good. The second he was trying to just drift a pass up the outside of the boot and went ski lift. And the change coming up here for England. I wonder whether we might get a whole cascade of them. But here's Di Lorenzo. McGuire, who seemed to be caught late there after he cleared the ball. It's another one the referee's just let go. And let him in his presence foul. It's Jack Grealish. Fan favourite and had the slight humiliation the other night, being a substitute who was substituted but was in the tactical cause of holding up to the lead, so I think he kind of understood. And Gareth Southgate's view was, well, too bad if he didn't, really. Inside by Berardi. Belotti turns, lines up a shot, and Pickford will be able to prevent that from going for a corner.
But I go back to the final, you and I in Paris 5 years ago, and who ended up being the difference? Adair coming off the bench. Which manager pushes the right button in this extra time to try and win the game? And I think many England fans around the world will say this player right here could be the difference maker.
I think they wanted to see more of him in this tournament, but Gareth Southgate's got most of his calls right so far. He's got England to the final. Up comes Mason Mount of Chelsea, and up comes Jack Grealish. Still on Aston Villa for the moment. There are likely to be bids for him this summer, most likely for Manchester City, we understand. But that, as I say, is another story for another time. Can he, as Taylor's just said, be a difference maker now? Warren measured that just about right to Luke Shaw. It didn't really look room. Deflection on the cross. Kane went in for it. Swallowed to Calvin Phillips again. Play on, says the referee. Saka. Shaw. But England look like they want to be on the front foot again here in his first period of extra time. The energy levels looked very good in the Denmark game.
I'd argue the opposite tonight, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's Italy who've come on strong in the game. Understandably, though, they found an equaliser, maybe just knocked a little bit of the leaf out of England. They backed themselves to keep yet another clean sheet and check the tackle, but who said it was going to be easy? Shaw. Now Grealish. His first chance to impress. City couldn't quite let Jordan take advantage.
Yeah, but Grealish has a unique skill set that very few players on this English side have. And so it's important when he gets in those dangerous spots that he's got runners in and around him, but also that he's picking up his head and not holding on to the ball too long. He's going to get into some dangerous spots here.
Italy will know, though, won't they, that he is the most fouled player in the Premier League, and I'll be careful not to just leave a foot dangling and give the referee a decision to make. Not really will go full circle to Gareth Southgate when it comes to penalties. Here's Harry Maguire.
What was that, Harry Maguire? God. What the hell was that?
Just as well, really, that a lot of the schools have said to the children, you can come in late tomorrow morning so you can stay up and watch the game. Because it is getting late.
All right, we're in extra time, man. This is it's going down to the wire, folks.
Only one European Championship final has gone to the penalty shootout now in '76, won by Czechoslovakia. And then it's coming to a penalty. But here comes Italy now driven across the face of goal. Benedeschi was in there.
Wow, that was close.
Italy threatened there.
Well, I think this should be a corner for Italy, but this is fantastic goalkeeper from Jordan Pickford. Kyle Walker unlucky that ball falls to the feet of Emerson. But he feels the pressure of Bernardeschi on this near post, and Pickford's got to be committed, come off his line. That's good goalkeeping.
Comes from Fred, might have come up Grealish last, but not he certainly thought so. Goalkick is the decision. Look at that from Bonucci. Times back there, he's pretty imperious.
It's a remarkable story, isn't it? Because 12 months ago, I'm not sure we're talking about Bonucci and Chiellini. Chiellini's only played 21 games in the last 2 years for his club. Bonucci had COVID, injuries, the form dipped, and yet when major tournaments come around, You tell me two center backs you would rather have over those two.
Anybody would be swapping them. Similar to Locatelli, goal scoring midfielder in this tournament anyway, and here he is, Locatelli. Twice blocked. First one Maguire, then by Phillips. Jorginho wanted more time and he didn't get the ball, says the referee. The anxiety is tangible. A minute to be added in the first period of extra time. Good ball back from Di Lorenzo. Locatelli across the face of goal. And Maguire got his feet sorted out quite nicely.
It's been those penetrating runs through the middle of the field that has really opened up the game for Italy in the second half to get back into this and even a little bit of extra time. We've seen Cristante, we now see Locatelli make those runs. And so it's dragging Phillips out of position, and then when Italy wins it, then that pocket of space right in front of Stones and Maguire is a dangerous one right now for Italy going forward.
Ball by Henderson towards Jack Grealish. We want to get the ball to Grealish's feet. And he can have a run at the cross. So this time the decision goes against Italy. Yeah. Handball, Locatelli.
Dangerous free kick for England.
Yeah, that's why that was given. This is likely to be the last action of the first half of extra time. Looks off the take for England. Likely to be a threat. The whistle has gone anyway. That's the end of the first period of extra time. It remains 1-1.
All right, that's the first part of extra time. I don't think they go back into the dressing room. I think they hang out on the field. So,
well, I think for some people around both countries, England and Italy, it will prove pretty hard to watch. It might get a lot harder to watch still now. At the end of this month-long feast of football, it's a miracle really it's happened at all across 11 cities in the middle of a pandemic, but it has, and it's ending up with a three-quarters full Wembley for this final. A lot of those fans thought after 2 minutes of the game they were watching an England glory night. Now they're not so sure, but it looks like everyone's pretty determined to enjoy it anyway. Crowd officially is given as a little over 67,000.
They missed that one by about 5,000 here.
Yeah. That's the figure we're given anyway, but looking around here, I don't see a lot of empty seats, do you?
No. And hasn't it been such a fitting tournament to come out of that 18 months of the pandemic? Where you've just seen one of the best tournaments this continent has ever seen. And quite honestly, we've got that in this final.
oh,
Has it been the
is
most
Rashford coming
exciting
on?
free-flowing game as we see Marcus Rashford look like he's coming in? No, it hasn't. but it's been drama felt, and it's been exactly what this continent needs.
Okay, Rash was coming on.
Well, here's hoping on that front. Certainly been a carnival of a diversion on this occasion. And it's going for the wire. Italy in this final reel of the film, so to speak. Cristante. Bonucci's ball induced a free kick. Italy will have one winners at about 30 yards out.
Well, it's a yellow card too, because Belotti's done a good job since coming into this game of forcing either Maguire or Stones to follow him into that little pocket of space, and that's exactly where Maguire and Stones don't want to be. Dangerous set piece here for Italy, but not Maguire on a yellow. Good little run from Belotti.
So long way out from the Tedeschi is the player who's hovering over it and wants to give us a thought. And you might feel at this stage, why not buy the lottery ticket? Bonucci's there alongside him, mind you. Have a hold your breath moment. It's hit and it's dropped by the second attempt. I'm very relieved.
Wow.
Jordan Pickford.
That was shaky.
Well, but there's numbers in front of Jordan Pickford.
Back on towards Sterling. The ageless Chiellini is there again.
Now, how does this man do it? How does Chiellini do it? He's had one incredible career. Incredible.
Certainly the England fans trying to do their bit. Trying to lift England over the line to become European champions for the very first time. Walker's long throw in. Maguire got something in that Grealish. He shot this charge down. Then it falls to Saka. Now Kane. Stones went in, but couldn't quite get there. Donnarumma. His fist just about got there first, and that was vital. Ball really quarried virtually there. And the referee saw no offence in any of that. And here comes Italy with Locatelli. Belotti is in behind here. And doesn't get the cross right. Shaw was the player in the right place at the right time. The flag was up.
Wow.
Anyway, so that was a false alarm.
But England got away with one a little bit here because the ball comes in here just out of the reach of Maguire, but then Berardi was wide open because Luke Shaw pushed forward. He started to cramp up so he couldn't recover. Bonucci couldn't see him. A good spot from Donnarumma coming off his line.
That almost looked as if John Stones had longer hair. He might have got that. So Marcus Rashford being prepared for action, didn't we? And they want him out there for the shootout because he would certainly be an allotted penalty taker.
Man, I'm a big Liverpool fan, and Jordan Henderson, I love you, but he's such a basic player. You know what I'm saying? He just does everything basic, for real. Yeah, it's just he's a good player, but he's just a guy to me. Like I said, I'm a Liverpool fan, so.
Chance here for somebody to really put their name up in lights with a winner in the final. Walker.
Hit it cross. Got 10 minutes left.
He's sure. Grealish wants it and gets it. He's well found. Got another of those runs. Sterling's got the 1-2 here. Skips round the back. Brilliant defending again by Chiellini. How good is that man? That's exactly the kind of run Sterling made that led to the penalty in the Denmark game. Grealish dancing through. And I'm sure that is a misunderstanding between the three England players. Wembley at fever pitch with every England attack. Walker. Italy sitting in now. For a moment anyway. Luke Shaw for England. Walker. Henderson. Kane. Good ball, Sterling. It lost under his feet a little bit, and a free kick here. Physios are going to be waved on.
Well, the question is whether or not Jorginho shows his studs into Grealish, because Grealish leaves his feet before Jorginho can get to that ball, because immediately the referee blew his whistle and then asked the medical personnel to come onto the field. And from our perspective, where you and I are sitting, we couldn't see that, but as Grealish leaves his feet here, Jorginho comes in, and I think he shows his studs. Absolutely. That is right in front of the referee.
And then afterwards, the momentum takes those studs into a very painful area for Jack Grealish. Mark Lambert was looking at that, I'm sure. Mark, what did you think?
What happens here is this Jorginho comes with a challenge. He actually puts his foot on the ball, so it's a step in action. He's not sliding with pace. He's not. It's not malice. And actually, when his foot hits the ball, it ricochets off onto Jack Grealish's thigh.
Man, I know that hurts.
It's not a challenge. It's not a step and watch. And the VAR in this case.
Is it a yellow for you, Mark?
It's a very difficult one. Jorginho wants to play the ball. It's just at the moment when he hits the foot hits the ball, it actually ricochets off, and therefore there's absolutely no place in it. So, you know, if the referee wants to give a yellow card, that's certainly not a red card.
Thank you, Mark. Lambert, who refereed the last European Championship final when
6 minutes plus probably going to be about 2 or 3 minutes of extra time on top of extra time.
Last host nation, it's not an official host nation, of course, this time, but the last host nation to win were France, way back in 1984. when Michel Platini was banging in a flat full of goals. Both players okay, no card. As Mark was indicating, there was one in the end.
Yeah, he ended up giving Jorginho a yellow card.
Good spot, thank you, Taylor. Felix takes the result, free kick, and Donnarumma says that's mine. Keep on producing great goalkeepers, don't they? Italy, Dino, Zoff, and Buffon. And now this fella who was capped when he was 17.
Yeah, but it was this tournament, I think, that is the defining moment that Donnarumma can take the baton from Gigi Buffon and carry it as long as he wants to. Couple fantastic saves in the lead up to this final.
He's on his way to Paris Saint-Germain. Good signing for them.
Who is it?
Can't have the Champions League there, can they? And Ledeski to pick it up and play it to.
Well, we got 5 minutes of extra time left, plus a couple of minutes for injuries and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is going to be, this could be headed to penalties unless we have a dramatic finish to this game.
Stand there again as the clock ticks round to 116 minutes and the penalty shootout looms larger and larger. Emerson to play this in, Donadevsky turning and twisting and claiming a handball, and again the referee shows almost no interest.
Yeah, but it's also a great example of how good this officiating is and how it needs to be. This goes back to the Sterling penalty call against Denmark.
Nah, you can't give that a handball,
in
man.
the equation, why blow a whistle on the magnitude of this game when you know video review can protect you if it's clear and obvious?
Good point. And some referees perfectly happy in Stone's hands and seen down by their side as Kane wins the header, tries to give it up to Grealish, Bukayo Saka. Good determined run from him. Okay.
You see Italy making us up here, but in the background you're seeing Southgate and his staff have conversations. So now it begs the question, when do you make subs with penalties in mind? There's absolutely no reason to go into penalties without using your subs in the spots where you can bring on an attacking player, a player more comfortable taking a penalty in this final.
So let's see, we have
exactly why I think you're seeing Rashford and Sancho come in.
Sancho and Rashford coming on. And Florenzi is coming on for Italy. So I think both teams are thinking penalty kicks.
Let that go on the play, and we'll need to make the substitution really now, but I'm in a hurry to take it. Maguire. Saka operating on the left-hand side now. Misunderstanding between him and Shaw. They need to get on with it if they're going to get those two players on the pitch in time. Sancho and Rashford, who both take penalties, but even had a chance to make the substitution and took a quick throw, and certainly over this side with Walker. It's Florenzi who's come out to the left-hand side for his brief cameo, which is all it can be now. Jorginho is definitely going to be taking one. Chiellini. Florenzi, and it does go behind for the corner kick.
Wow.
And here come those England substitutions, which have become a bit of a matter of urgency, really.
And it's also at the worst time. The last thing you want to do is make a substitution defending a set piece, but on the other hand, you can't risk time being wasted here and not being able to get Rashford and Sancho on.
Yeah, they have to make the switch. I think Henderson who definitely wouldn't have taken one. This one in one of the Prem games when he wasn't supposed to even take it. I've seen that much action in these Euros, but he might have a pretty big part to play. Kyle Walker comes off and comes Jadon Sancho did have that start in Rome. They went to the Stadio Olimpico to play Ukraine. But now they've got a corner to defend. As Henderson in not ideal circumstances, having made those two sets for Bernadeschi to play it on. It's flipped on. Belotti can keep it alive as well. Calvin Phillips is there to hack it away for England, and we are past 120 minutes. Now there's going to be 3 minutes of added time on this second period of extra time. Taylor, you and I thought this was going to be a long night from the word go.
I mean, get the ball to Bernadeschi here, one-on-one and isolate Marcus Rashford. Good defending. I mean, what a difficult spot this is as an attacking player to come in and plays it right back.
New career beckoning for Marcus Rashford at right back. It's risky, but it's only for a few seconds, and she's probably just as well. No, they see one penalty shootout, which they prevailed in already this week. Looks like we're going to have another, unless worked that well. Seemed impossible to get the ball out of them, and they did. Italy, and they might just be able to launch this forward one last time. Di Lorenzo into Cristante. Florenzi. Great recovery from a very bad start, very shaky start tonight from Italy, you have to say that. Showing enormous resilience, and that won't be a problem that time, and I just wonder, I think that might be just about that. As the clock says 122 minutes and 16 seconds and counting.
Looks like we're headed to penalties, fellas or ladies. Not sure who's watching, but
Italy have won 3 and lost 3 penalty shootouts in European Championship history. England have only won 1 in this competition. That's against Spain. One of them will remember that in 1996 in the quarter-final. That's 3 losses. Saka. That is it.
Well,
for only the second time in the history of the European
we're going to penalties, folks.
The trophy will be decided by a penalty shootout for the first time, in fact, since 1976.
All right, I will be back for the penalty shootout. Let's get it.
happen at this moment.
And you don't know whether one team are favourites. Yes, we saw Italy beat Spain on penalties. Are the penalty takers going to all go the same way that they did in the previous game? If that's the case, Jordan Pickford will know where they're going to put the ball. Donnarumma is certainly a bigger, much bigger, imposing goalkeeper than Jordan Pickford is. And as Alessandro said, who's got the mental strength when the pressure is on your shoulders to smash one in the back of the net?
Italy's trying to become the first side to win multiple shootouts in a single Euro after beating Spain, as Matt mentioned. Occasionally, having a conversation with Tim Howard a week or two ago and said oftentimes you choose your shooters based on who can live with missing.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yes, in a perfect world, you step up and you go to whatever side you want for your favourite side. But the goalkeepers know what your favourite side is now. They've done their homework. It's just all about maybe just putting your foot through as hard as you can, kick it and smash it in the back of the net. Is Jorginho going to take the penalty like he did against Spain the other day? You know, that little skip and he just rolls it in. Has he got the mental strength to be able to do that on an occasion? So loads of different questions to be answered now.
And the most important thing for a coach is that the players want to take it. Because sometimes it's happens that some players don't want to do it. They feel too much pressure. They don't feel ready to do that in that specific moment. So they maybe say, you know, coach, I'm out. What about you? Well, I was always ready. I always did. I mean, I want to make my future on my way.
Yeah.
In good or bad way.
But you've got Gareth Southgate, who's famous for missing the penalty. Yeah. You know, so of course this could be his sort of redemption over if they win.
What about you?
I would have taken one if asked. Yeah, there was no problem. I just wasn't asked.
That's funny.
We'll see who's asked and who comes through right now.
So they'll be tossing the coin to see which end the shootout will take place at. I think Italy will prepare it up at that to the left, where all the Italian fans are gathered. This is quite important, I think. It's like Italy have got it. Let's see. Some confusion. Now they have another toss of the coin to say who's going to take them first. The statistics say there is a bias in favour of the team taking the first penalty because the second team is playing catch up, as long as they're converted, of course. So it is going to be at the end where the England supporters are gathered.
All right, so we're in penalties, folks.
In the drama, the two goalkeepers, Gianluigi Donnarumma for Italy and Jordan Pickford for England. England, of course, notoriously had a huge jinx in big tournament penalty shootouts until the World Cup in Russia when they won one against Colombia. They followed that by winning another shootout on a less high pressure occasion in the fourth place game of the Nations League against Switzerland.
Penalty shootout. Wow.
England's policy is to put their best.
Did not see this coming.
First.
I knew it would be a tight game, but I didn't know it was going to go to penalties.
Jordan Pickford on that occasion of the Colombia one had a lot of instructions written on his water bottle. You probably read about that.
Who's up first?
Italy had prepared just as long and hard for every eventuality.
Well, the Italians up first.
It's going to be Narani to take the first penalty on the shooter.
Man, this is a hard way for somebody to lose.
Took 6 penalties in 2021. All at the club level. The only one he missed was down the middle to the goalkeeper's left.
Dominic Berardi. And this first one, the other man taken by Locatelli. Looks like he's on duty for it. Berardi. No problem. Italy. Good one up.
All right, so Italy's up 1-0 in penalties.
And understanding that any kind of movement from the goalkeeper, you go the other way.
Harry Kane now.
From Berardi.
Harry Kane, England's regular penalty taker. Of course, that goes down as a miss the other night against Denmark because he scored on the rebound. If that happened here, he wouldn't be allowed to score on the rebound, just to underline that point.
Good goal by Harry Kane. 1-1.
Talk about having some stones in this moment. You saw him take 2 deep breaths to make sure he was in charge of the moment. Gareth Southgate and about 75,000 in this stadium loving the first penalty from Harry Kane.
Next is Belotti.
All right, Belotti's up next. Man, this is nerve-wracking, huh? I couldn't imagine if I was Italian how nerve-wracking this would be.
Just a few little theatrics first, jumping down on the line. So you can make a difference.
He saved it! Wow, Pickford saved it. Oh, man.
Well, Pickford doing a good job of just waiting to that last second when you can get any kind of indicator as Maloney opens his hips. What a huge save for Jordan Pickford.
Now it's Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
Scoring that shootout against Switzerland I was telling you about. To put England ahead. He got a little pep talk. That's part of England's ritual from Jordan Pickford beforehand.
Oh, what a goal. Yes, sir. That's a hell of a goal by Maguire. That's a good penalty. Yes, sir. That's a good penalty. What a finish.
There's a goalkeeper in the universe who could have kept that out. That was travelling like a tracer bullet. Now then, Panucci already an Italian hero tonight. He scored in the last shootout the other night against Spain.
Remember in 2016 against Germany, he went low to his right, the goalkeeper's left.
If he misses this, they're toast. Ooh.
Oh, it's a magnificent penalty.
Wow. Ooh, that was close. Woo, that was close. Wow.
Marcus Rashford is next. Scored in that World Cup one against Colombia.
Wow. All right, Rashford, what you gonna do? Rashford is normally a very good penalty kick taker, so I've seen him take it for Manchester United many times. He normally goes, yep, he normally goes. I've seen him take it to the right, to the goalkeeper's right also. He missed!
Donnarumma makes the stop and puts Italy back in business.
Rashford missed.
2-2 after 3.
You can almost see the thoughts.
Wow.
Into the head of Marcus Rashford. He's looking right at Donnarumma, looking for any kind of movement. Donnarumma did a good job of just...
Oh, no, Marcus. Marcus, what are you? No, Marcus.
Bernadeschi is next. The player who scored in this slot the other night against Spain. He scores here as well.
Right down the middle.
To put Italy ahead for the moment.
Good penalty here from Bernadeschi. Opens the hips, Pickford dives. Calm, cool, and collected.
Who's up now for England? Sancho.
Jadon Sancho of Borussia Dortmund brought up.
Sancho, you have to score. You have to score this, Jadon. Jadon, you have to score this. Big goal. You have to. Oh! Sancho missed. What? Sancho missed it.
Italy are nearly there.
And both subs in the last minute.
Both substitutes have missed it.
Marcus Rashford.
Are you kidding me?
Both missed their penalties.
Are you kidding me?
Is England's penalty hoodoo about to strike again? Jorginho won it the other night. He can do it again here and take the European Championship to Italy and foil England.
And you know Jordan Pickford's done his homework. You know he has a good understanding that there's a little hop before Jorginho takes it. And when he goes to the goalkeeper's left, it's always on the ground. But if he goes to the goalkeeper's right, he clips it a little bit in the air. You know Jordan Pickford's done his homework.
He scored 8, missed 3 this season. Jorginho to win the European title for Italy.
Are you serious, Jorginho? You missed that?
Jorginho had the prize in his grasp. Pickford, brilliant.
Wow.
It's just fantastic homework from Jordan Pickford, knowing exactly the tendency of what Jorginho wants to do, get you off balance. He guesses the right way.
Saka.
What a huge save.
And now it's the teenager, Bukayo Saka, one of the youngest players ever to play in the European Championship. He's got to score here to keep England alive.
No, Saka missed. Italy are champions of Europe. Oh my God. Italy have won the Euros. Wow. I can't believe this. The Italians have beaten England at Wembley. And the youngster Saka has missed. Wow. I am just shocked. Wait, what happened?
It's Italy who will fly home to Rome with the championship. Football's coming Rome.
Wait, what happened?
Extraordinary. Such an
What happened?
The big crowd at Wembley. Those shootouts can be a horror story for somebody.
What happened?
Roberto Mancini and the Italian side. Such an ugly day November 13, 2017 was. That must feel like a lifetime ago.
What happened?
The failure to qualify for a World Cup for the first time in 60 years. And yet they took it in stride. They retooled. They rebuilt. And they rediscovered what it means to be Italy in a major tournament. And that is champions.
Yeah, tremendous redemption for Italy, who failed to qualify for their last World Cup and really were in the doldrums. John Roberto Mancini came along, but from England's point of view, it's a little bit of history repeating itself from 1996 when they were beaten in the semi-final.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's over.
It
Wow, England, you are not going to get a better chance than this to win the Euros. Oh my God, I can't believe England lost this game at home. Are you serious? Really, England? At home?
The champions of Europe for the second time. With that save from their hero, Gianluigi.
Well, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And man, what a thriller. Italy are the European champions. Vamos, Italy. Anyway, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. And your boy's out. Peace out.